Hello, everybody, and welcome to Atheist Sunday School, your one-stop shop for everything Atheist Sunday and school. And boy, do we have a show for you today. We're doing.
That was so biblical. Oh.
Thanks.
We're doing
Good
Nehemiah 5 through 9 today.
Yes, we are.
Yes.
And we are nearing the conclusion of Nehemiah, because this book is not all that long. But let's get started with some announcements. We don't really have that many. But, no, not really. But the first is obviously the esoteric Nazism video. I hear that's doing well.
Yep, I'm coming along with the script. It should be about 2 hours long. I heard back from some German speakers on translations of Ostara. I have a little bit translated, but I mean, a little bit's a lot given that there's no existing English translation anywhere. So that's
So we're
nice.
going to have the only ones, is what
Yes,
you're saying.
we will exclusively have English translations of Ostara as part of our video.
That's fantastic. And, you know, we can still try to get David Lurson in
Yes.
for that, which would be fantastic.
Yeah, I'll have some quotations from him probably in the section on the Thule Society.
Of course.
And yeah, he said he'd be willing to record some readings.
Yeah, which I think would be fantastic. And instead of having you read his quotes, we'll just have him read his quotes.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's quoted by him.
Yeah.
Much
So-
better.
So it was we really lucked out that he lives in Milwaukee.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, since that's going well, this Thursday, probably, I'm trying to set up for this Thursday, we are going to have the point pyramid. And I have completed all the questions, and the board is done. And I think we have to create those block cards, don't we? You have those done
yes.
too?
The block cards.
Okay, apparently we have those done. Well, everything is done. We are going to set a date then, and I am pretty sure it is going to be Thursday if the contestants are available.
Well, that sounds excellent.
I think it is excellent. I'm
Yeah.
very
Of course.
excited for the show.
The demon summoning is done, but we're doing an alchemy drive.
Yes.
To
Yes.
use ancient alchemical means to transmute something into something else, probably lead into gold.
Something into gold.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Speaking of which, how far along are we on our current $666 donation drive?
Yes, so for the alchemy drive, we are currently at $290.40.
Well, we're almost halfway there.
Almost halfway there, but once we hit the 666 goal, you're going to be getting a video of us trying alchemy.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Yeah, good luck.
I'm
We're
really
gonna
gonna
have
have
to go
to
science
find.
and surplus store again and actually buy some ancient-looking
Oh, yeah.
devices, and then make sure they're historically relevant for the type of decanter you're looking for,
Yep.
or whatever it
Yep.
is.
We try to be as authentic as we possibly can
And
be
you
on
gotta
this
piss
show.
in a container on camera. No, I'm just kidding.
No, I'm
But,
not.
They did
Yeah.
use piss a lot. I don't
Well,
know
I'm
why.
not doing it on camera.
I understand. I
Okay.
was making a joke.
Gotcha.
Anyways, take a look at your screen, by the way. Now you can see what I was talking about since the announcements are done. You guys look like completely divided.
Oh, we do look
The
divided.
books-
Yeah, the books are
The books
exactly.
are almost exactly there.
Yeah, with the door.
With the
and stuff.
door.
Yeah.
Oh, it's great.
Let's get this
Look at this.
remote out of here.
I'm breaking the fourth wall.
Oh, you broke the
Whoa.
fourth wall. Whoa.
That's the fourth wall now.
Wow.
Right over here.
Yeah, but there's five for some reason. This is a bad house.
Well,
Anyways,
let's hop into the 100-point show.
yes, 100-point
good.
show. So, once upon a time, there were these excavations in the 1970s that I'm not telling you where it is, you're going to have to tell me where it is, but they discovered a inscription of Yahweh and his Asherah. And it was a kind of a picture of Yahweh standing with a female figure. And in the back, it looks like there's a scribe writing something down. Maybe he's a musician playing something. We're not 100% sure, but it looks more like a scribe. Where was this discovered? And when referring to this excavation,
When was it discovered?
In 1975 or 76. That's when the excavations were going on.
And which country discovered it?
Which country discovered it?
Well, from where did the people who discovered it come from?
I have no idea.
Who were they represent? Okay. I'm gonna say Jordan.
No.
Ah, shit.
I wasn't looking for a country. I was asking for,
U.S. where?
yeah, I guess where. Yeah, that's fair enough. Well, I also said, like, when referring to it, how do they refer to that? Like, as the excavation. Like, when they say Qumran, we know where Qumran is, but they're still talking about, like, Qumran is more specific, right?
I guess.
It is more specific. The answer is Kuntalet Arjud.
Great.
Well, it's wonderful. And what does that mean?
I have no idea what that means.
Wow. Okay. Well, my 100-point show question. What? Okay.
Having myself a nice sip of Mountain Dew, clear Mountain Dew. Sorry, see-through Mountain Dew. The Mountain Dew that is see-through. Mountain Dew, please sponsor us.
Yeah, God,
Okay.
anyone.
Continue.
So the runes have been a part of the Germanic society for a long time. But Guido von List created his own set of runes. What is the name of Guido von List's set of runes?
Is it Guido von List's set of runes?
No.
Damn.
No.
I didn't know he created his own. I knew he had like some sort of crazy vision because Guido von List was insane.
Oh yeah, he like went blind and then he received the runes
Yeah.
like Odin
Yeah,
did
exactly
when
like
Odin gave up his sight. No, it's the Armanen runes.
Armanen.
Yes. So no points for you.
Well, I have 100 points. Show
Oh
question.
no.
Oh Jesus.
Oh,
Okay.
God, I hate this guy.
Yep. So, there is no name for this new discovery yet, but basically, they found a way to make a new particle that is two-dimensional. How did they form a two-dimensional new particle? What did they do? What's the new process
They were looking at it through light speed.
No,
No.
that'd be cool though.
That would work.
They just crushed it real flat, like.
Real flat, like. No, they used topological superconductivity.
No.
Oh.
All right then.
Sorry, guys.
Wow.
You weren't
Damn.
gonna get that one.
No.
No,
No.
I'm just reading off stuff I read this morning because that was the most interesting thing I've seen in a while. So.
All right. Well, anyways, let's get started with the readings, shall we?
I have the King James version of the Bible.
I have the English Standard Version of the Bible.
We
I'm not
also
reading.
have the Robert Alter Hebrew Bible translation with commentary.
And it's fantastic. We also have the Old Testament Survey from the
And-
New Interpreter's Bible,
And the Oxford Companion to the Bible.
as well as the Holy Scriptures according to some Jews,
And the New King James Version.
Yeah, so we got a lot of stuff here. Big stuff going on over here in Milwaukee.
You guys haven't
Yes.
synced that up yet.
No,
you gotta
we'll
get-
work on it. It'll get there eventually.
It was close. You guys were like passing it off before. It was cool one time. It felt like you handed it off to him perfectly every time.
Yeah, no, it's...
Didn't get it today.
Yeah, not today.
Oh,
It's
man.
sad. Well, it'll...
Your intro was flawless though.
We'll
I
sync
gotta
it all
tell
up
ya.
eventually.
Yeah.
Eventually, we will be saying the exact same things at the exact same time.
Yeah,
It will happen eventually.
Episode 220. It's happening.
Well, stay tuned.
Yeah, we'll probably be in, like, Jonah by then. Anyways, chapter 5. And there was a great cry of the people and their wives against their brethren, the Jews. For there were that said, We, our sons and our daughters, are many. Therefore we take up corn for them, that they may eat and live. Some also there were that said, We have mortgaged our lands, vineyards, and houses, that we may buy corn, because of the dearth. There,
Because of the dearth?
yeah.
Because of the famine. Okay.
Yes.
Remember? I wrote that down once as a keyword because I thought it was a weird word. I was like, I'm going to try to remember that word. It's dearth, meaning famine. Because I
Did
needed
you?
more
Okay.
words for famine. I like
You
Weird.
need more. Yeah, you always need more words for famine.
I do.
Yes.
I write a lot of weird cards for games and stuff.
There were also that said, we have borrowed money for the king's tribute, and that upon our lands and vineyards. Yet now our flesh is as the flesh of our brethren, our children as their children. And lo, we bring into bondage our sons and our daughters to be servants. And some of our daughters are brought unto bondage already. Neither is it in our power to redeem them, for other men have our lands and vineyards. And I was very angry when I heard their cry and these words. Then I consulted with myself, and
You know, it's always the elders or God.
yeah,
This is the first time somebody asked themselves a question
yeah,
And,
in the
just so-
Bible.
Just so we're clear, they were talking about vineyards before. Let's just make sure not to let, was it Ahab or Ahaz who wanted to get that vineyard from Naboth?
I think it was Ahaz.
Okay, well let's make sure that he doesn't go anywhere near it, or
You can't. This
can't let
already
Jezebel
happened.
go anywhere near it either. That Jezebel.
Oh man.
Yeah, Jezebel. Yeah, so basically they're all in debt
Yeah.
and they're having a bad time. You would think that
After all
the,
this.
the king would realize the economic concerns and at least not charge the king's tribute.
Yeah, and the thing is, we're gonna see it a little bit more later as well. But keep in mind, do you remember how pro-Persia Ezra was?
Yeah.
How not pro-Persia is Nehemiah?
Oh, well, maybe that's why they broke it up into two books.
Maybe, I don't know. But the thing is, you're going to see this kind of thing pop up throughout this book.
It's just a big shift. I don't know what happened. Are they even related, these two guys, or are they just
They're
different
around
gods?
each other in the
Yeah,
story.
Okay.
Well, I think Ezra was pro-Persia, but, like, he was definitely, like, an ethno-nationalist
Yes.
still.
He still
um,
likes
Which is
Israel.
strange.
So maybe it's more that he was, like, a pro-king of Persia.
No, maybe it's like one of those things where, you know how there are some white nationalists that are all for black nationalists?
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, well, you guys can go do your own thing over wherever you want, and we'll do our own thing wherever we want.
Yeah, the segregation people.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're ridiculous.
Yeah,
but,
so maybe it's like that.
well, maybe that's better than just murdering everyone like they've been consistently doing until now.
You know, probably, yeah. That's better than murdering
Baby
everybody.
steps.
Yeah.
Then I consulted with myself, and I rebuked the nobles and the rulers, and said unto them, Ye exact usury, every one of his brother. And I set a great assembly against them. And I said unto them, We, after our ability, have redeemed our brethren the Jews, which were sold unto the heathen. And will ye even sell your brethren? Or shall they be sold unto us? Then they held their peace and found nothing to answer. Also, I said,
You know what's really kind of interesting? The phrasing, like in yours, is about they were sold to the heathens, right?
Mm-hmm.
And mine says they have been sold to the nations, which is usually referring to mean other nations, of course. The thing is, do you remember when they were discussing buying slaves, and they were like, buy slaves from the heathen that surround you,
Yeah.
or buy slaves from the nations that surround you? So it's just, I feel like there's a link there, and maybe I don't really have the words.
Words?
I don't really have the words to portray what I think the link is, but they use that because that was in the Torah,
yes.
and I think that was written. I don't know if it was written after Ezra and Nehemiah, but I know that at least in chronological order, and if I take into account the fact that the Torah was probably written after the exile, at least in
Yes.
part, then I definitely think that they were taking that tradition of specifically buying slaves from people that surround you.
Just like Fiddler on the Roof.
Well, it
Okay.
seems reasonable.
Tradition. You thought it was slavery.
Okay.
Also, I said, it is not good that ye do. Ought ye not to walk in the fear of our God because of the reproach of the heathen, our enemies? I likewise, and my brethren, and my servants, might exact of them money and corn. I pray you, let us leave off this usury. Restore, I pray you, to them, even this day, their lands, their vineyards, their olive yards, and their houses, also the 100th part of the money.
The 100th? Sorry.
And of the corn,
100.
the wine, and the oil that ye exact of them.
Lawrence,
You
in
know,
the middle there.
this would be the equivalent of like you walking up to an IRS building and demanding that they return everyone's taxes to them
Yes.
because
That's
they're
right.
too
I
poor.
demand it.
Is that what you're going to do, Ruben?
Yeah,
Okay.
Because taxes are theft.
definitely. Then said they, we will restore them, and will require nothing of them. So will we do as thou sayest. Then I called the priests and took an oath of them, that they should do according to this promise. Also, I shook my lap, and said, so God shake out every man from his house, and from his labor, that performeth not this promise. Even thus he be shaken out and emptied.
So just so we're clear on what the hell that meant.
He took a piss.
No, that's not what happened. So in Alter's translation, he has, I also shook out what was in my lap. This is the equivalent of shaking out all the contents of one's pockets.
Oh, he didn't. He
These
didn't rub
good
one
old
out.
idioms.
He didn't rub
Idioms
one out.
don't translate, guys.
Oh, jeez.
Like
Strange.
if I were to translate the English, like I got your back, into Russian, that would mean I have your spine.
I'm stealing your
The-
spine.
Right here, I got it. So idioms don't translate, guys.
Okay. And all the
Let's go
congregation
spines.
said, Amen, and praise the Lord. And the people did according to this promise. And then everybody clapped. Moreover, from the time that I was appointed to be their governor in the land of Judah, from the 20th year even unto the 32nd year of Artaxerxes the king, that is 12 years, I and my brethren have not eaten the bread of the governor. But the former governors that had been before me were chargeable unto the people, and had taken of them bread and wine, besides 40 shekels of silver. Yea, even their servants bare rule over the people. But so did not I, because of the fear of God.
So basically, while all these other guys are taking some of these taxes, I guess, for themselves, or I have food allowance in here, I don't, because I don't want to get destroyed. And let's
What's
think
that?
back.
You don't want to get destroyed?
Yes, let's
Oh,
think
jeez.
back to Leviticus.
Yes.
And the priests were always taking stuff from the people,
Yes.
and it wasn't a problem for them.
But the Jews are not allowed within the biblical, or I think at some point they said that they're not allowed to charge each other interest for loans.
Oh, interest. That's right. I'm sorry, but they were still taking like a portion of what was technically being given to God.
Which, of course, this is totally what Samuel was talking about. Was it Samuel? Yeah, it was Samuel. When he talked about how the kings would put overbearing taxes on their citizens
yeah,
and warned
yeah.
against implementing a kingship.
But he was talking about he was talking about Saul
Yeah.
effectively.
Right.
Yeah. But I guess that could also be applied. Yeah.
Taxation.
Your enemy.
Yay.
Your arch enemy. You have a nemesis. It's taxation.
Yeah. Yea, also I continued in the work of this wall. Neither bought we any land, and all my servants were gathered thither unto the work. Moreover, There were at my table 150 of the Jews and rulers, besides those who came unto us from among the heathen that are about us. Now, that which was prepared for me daily was 1 ox, and 6 choice sheep, and fowls were prepared for me, and once in 10 days store all sorts of wine.
So this was every day.
Yeah. You can't eat that.
No, man. This was Jabba the Hutt 3. They're really big.
I mean, if he's feeding 150 people, even then, that's still a lot of food.
Yeah.
It's just for him.
Yeah. Yet for all this required not I the bread of the governor, welfare, because the bondage was heavy upon this people. Think upon me, my God, for good, and according to all that I have done for this people. That's the end of chapter 5. If you're enjoying the stream so far, give us a like, share, subscribe, buy our wacky and fun t-shirts,
Shilling.
and so on.
Shilling, yes.
Lawrence, why don't you
I'll
take us into chapter 6?
I'll take it away with chapter 6.
Woo!
And by take it away, I mean I'm going to take all these Bibles and I'm going to leave, and I'll see you guys later.
Okay, bye-bye.
Yep, see ya. Now, when Sanballat and Tobiah and Geshem the Arab and the rest of our enemies heard that I had built the wall, and that there was no breach left in it, although up to that time I had not set up the doors and the gates, Sanballat and Geshem sent to me, saying, Come, and let us meet together at Hakipharim, in the plain of Ono. But they intended to do me harm.
So they're trying to set him up.
Yep, try to set him up.
Ambush.
He knows. And I sent messengers to them saying, I am doing a great work, and I cannot come down. Too busy. Why should the work stop while I leave it and come down to you? And they sent to me 4 times in this way, and I answered them in the same manner. In the same way Sanballat, for the 5th time, sent his servant to me with an open letter in his hand. In it was written, It is reported among the nations and Geshem.
So here, Alter points out, the previous 4 communications were confidential. Now Sanballat sends an open letter, hoping that the general knowledge of his message will demonstrate how reasonable he is in asking for a meeting.
Ah, I see. Okay. Neat.
Well, that's nice.
It is reported among the nations, and Geshem also says it, that you and the Jews intend to rebel.
Uh-oh.
That is why you are building the wall.
Uh-oh.
And according to these reports, you wish to become their king.
So where it says and Geshem says, the Hebrew shows wagashmu, an unintelligible word, amended here to wageshem, but the Septuagint appears to have used a Hebrew text that lacked these words.
Okay, so we're not exactly sure what it's supposed to say.
Yeah.
Okay. And you have also set up prophets to proclaim concerning you in Jerusalem.
Wait, he hasn't set up prophets.
I don't remember him setting up prophets.
I
Yeah.
think that's a myth. I mean,
That's like
this guy's making stuff up.
Yeah, that's like a Socrates corrupted the youth with false
yeah.
gods kind of claim.
Yeah, I don't remember him setting up prophets.
I don't remember Socrates corrupting the youth with false claims.
No.
No,
False
he
gods.
made a lot of good points.
Um,
Concerning you in Jerusalem, there is a king in Judah, and now the king will hear of these reports. So now come and let us take counsel together. Then I sent to him, saying, No such things as you say have been done, for you are inventing them out of your mind.
Whoa, yeah, see, I just said that.
For they all wanted to frighten us, thinking their hands will drop from the work, and it will not be done. But now, O God, strengthen my hands. So, he's calling him out. Is there going to be a court
Yeah.
case?
He's calling out his BS.
Yep.
They're about to throw down.
Man.
He asked God to strengthen his hands.
Yeah, they're gonna throw down. Step in the ring with me, brother.
Yeah.
Now, when I went into the house of Shemaiah, the son of Deliah, son of Mehetabel, who was confined to his home, he said, "Let us meet together in the house of God within the temple. Let us close the doors of the temple, for they are coming to kill you. They are coming to kill you by night." But I said, "Should such a man as I run away? And what man such as I could go into the temple and live?"
Like, there are people running towards you that are trying to kill you. Should a man such as I run away?
What do you think I'm a little bitch?
You're unarmed. They all have crossbows.
A man such as I.
You know, yeah, I mean, he could also just be overly philosophical and have no idea what it means to have a sense of urgency.
Oh, and he ends this off saying, "I will not go in."
No.
And I understood and saw that God had not sent him, but he had pronounced a prophecy against me because Tobiah and Sanballat had hired him. Oh, sounds like a conspiracy theorist to me now.
Yeah, it's getting
He's
there.
like, this guy is suggesting that I don't fight a bunch of, well, it's not a bunch, but probably if he's convinced that people are trying to kill him, so he's paranoid, and there's someone that says, "Hey, come in here, you won't be as paranoid," and this guy's like, "You're working for them, aren't you?"
Yeah.
It was you!
This whole time. For
Anyway.
this purpose he was hired, that I should be afraid and act in this way and sin, and so they could give me a bad name in order to taunt me. Remember Tobiah and Sanballat, oh my God, according to these things that they did, and also the prophetess Noadiah, and the rest of the prophets who wanted to make me afraid. So, this guy's on his own now.
Yeah.
I feel like he probably thinks he has this all down.
He may be going the way of Saul.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Hey, is he going to build anything in the high places? That's a no-go.
Maybe let's find out. I doubt it, though. So the wall was finished on the 25th day of the month Elul, in 52 days. And when all our enemies heard of it, all the nations around us were afraid and fell greatly in their own esteem, for they perceived that this work had been accomplished with the help of our God. Really? They perceived that?
I thought you perceived that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he perceived it.
Are you just saying that because you can?
They literally built the wall. It's not like
Yeah,
God showed up and started laying bricks.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not like magic ethereal lights of pure holiness came down from the sky and carved blocks out of stone and then placed them for you. Then God did it.
You know what else?
That'd be cooler, though.
We
Oh,
haven't,
hell yeah.
we haven't heard from God
No.
for a
In
while.
a while, yeah.
What does God think about all this?
Well, it doesn't matter what God thinks about all of it.
I thought he was the main
Because
character.
the king, he signed off on this, and still, they could just show the other guys that, hey, look, the king signed off on this, but no,
Yeah.
they want to make a whole big civil war about it.
He had official documentation.
Exactly.
Like, the dude was cool with it.
Yeah, he should have just said, "Hey guys, calm down. I changed my mind about the building of the walls. It's
Yeah.
fine."
But no, here we go. With this another fucking civil war. 25th one.
All right. So, anyways, God helped apparently.
Great.
Moreover, in those days, the nobles of Judah sent many letters to Tobiah, and Tobiah's letters came to them. For many in Judah were bound by oath to him, because he was the son-in-law of Shechaniah, the son of Ara, and his son Jehonan had taken the daughter of Meshullam, the son of Berechiah, as his wife.
So where it's talking about sending letters to Tobiah, Alter says the political situation is revealed to be more complicated than it had appeared, people who should be in Nehemiah's camp are in cahoots with the enemy and are sharing intelligence with him.
Yep. Sounds like someone that's paranoid to me.
Hey.
Yep.
Yep. Also, they spoke of his good deeds in my presence and reported my words to him. And Tobiah sent letters to make me afraid.
Ooh.
Yeah, so the whole world is out to get Nehemiah, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, according to him.
Well, that's the end of chapter 6.
Yeah, that is the end of chapter 6.
If you're enjoying the stream so far, do all the things that you do. We got 16 viewers. I should see 16 likes or dislikes.
Whatever.
It's really just the engagement
that
matters. So, with that being said, do you hear anything strange right now?
Yep, that was great. Ready for chapter 7?
Oh, wow. Do you hear anything
I hear something
strange?
Nope. I'm not doing it. Fine.
My ears are ringing.
Behold, I am your Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, and I want to let all you heathens and sinners know that I support this wonderful episode of Atheist Sunday School. Lawrence and Reuben try their very best to bring you the true glory of the Bible, and they need your help. They have provided links to their Patreon page and other social media just for you. Once again, my name is Jesus Christ, and this is Milwaukee Atheists. The Lord is with them. God bless.
You're back.
Oh my God!
Jesus Christ!
Wow, that was totally unexpected.
No,
yeah.
we had no idea that was coming.
No idea.
That never happens, especially here on this show.
It's not like we told Chris to play the video.
No. That's not what happened.
And I didn't say we were done when
must
we were
have
done
been God.
either because Lawrence was so attentive to my cues.
In fact,
Must have been
if
God.
you heard us saying anything to Chris about putting it on, that was just like an illusion. You're mistaken.
It's also hyperbole and metaphor.
Yeah.
It's also a simile.
Yeah, why not?
Well, anyways,
A lot of alliteration too.
Like or as you like.
let's get into chapter 7.
Yes, chapter 7.
Now it came to pass when the wall was built, and I had set up the doors, and the porters, and the singers, and the Levites were appointed, that I gave my brother Hanani and Hananiah, the ruler of the place, charge over Jerusalem, for he was a faithful man and feared God above many.
Wow.
And I said unto him, let not the gates of Jerusalem be opened until the sun be hot. And while they stand by, let them shut the doors and bar them. And appoint watches of the inhabitants of Jerusalem, everyone in his watch, and everyone to be over against his house. So they set up a curfew, they set up watches, and they are only opening the doors during daylight hours, specifically when people who they know are not an opposing army are coming in. That's reasonable. Now, the city was large.
It's interesting that they also set up the Levites, which means some sort of ritual stuff has at least probably begun at some
Yes, and
to some extent.
Well, arguably, that accusation of him setting up prophets is becoming more true.
Yeah.
Which means he's a prophet.
Now the city was large and great, but the people were few therein, and the houses were not built. And my God put into mine heart to gather together the nobles, and the rulers, and the people, that they might be reckoned by genealogy.
Okay, hold on. Okay, before
Here it comes.
Before-
the reckoning of genealogy. I
before
think my dad would laugh his ass off. Anyways.
before we get into the reckoning of a genealogy, our alchemy drive is at $290.40.
Oh yes.
We need 666 to try and turn something into something else.
Into gold.
Probably.
Yeah.
We'd
If
like
we
that.
accidentally turn like a ruby into a diamond or something,
That
we
counts.
Won't,
We'll
we
count.
won't complain.
Or if
Yeah.
we vaporize a couple precious gems in the process and nothing comes of it as well. And
By the way, this is the
that'd be
same
great.
list that we got before.
Oh, a repeat!
Yeah, remember Ezra 2? Yeah.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
is Ezra 2, everyone.
Okay.
Are you ready
This is
for
the same
Ezra 2?
list coming up. Yeah.
Hashtag blame the Bible.
Yeah.
And I found a register of the genealogy of them which came up at the first, and found written therein, these are the children of the province that went up out of captivity, of those that had been carried away, whom Nebuchadnezzar the king of Babylon had carried away, and came again to Jerusalem and to Judah, everyone unto his city. Who came with Zerubbabel, Jeshua, Nehemiah, Azariah, Rahamiah, Nahamani, Mordecai, Bilshan, Mispereth, Migvai, Nahum, Banah. The number, I say, of the men of the people of Israel was this: the children of Perosh, 2,172. The children of Shephatiah, 372. The children of Ara, 652. The children of Pahath Moab, of the children of Jeshua and Joab, 2,818. The children of Elam, 1,254. The children of Zatu, 845. The children of Zakai, 703 score. The children of Benui, 648. The children of Babai, 628. The children of Azgad, 2,322. The children of Adonikam, 603 score and 7. The children of Bigvai, 2,003 score and 7. The children of Adin, 655. The children of Ater of Hezekiah, 90 and 8. The children of Hashum, 320 and 8. The children of Bazai, 320 and 4. The children of Harif, 112. The children of Gibeon, 90 and 5. The men of Bethlehem and Neptahash, 104 score and 8. The men of Anathoth, 120 and 8. The men of Bethazmaveth, 40 and 2. The men of Kirjath-Jearim, Chephirah, and Beeroth, 740 and 3. The men of Ramah and Gaba, 620 and 1. The men of Mikmas, 120 and 2. The men of Bethel and Ai, 120 and 3. The men of the other, Nebo, 50 and 2. The children of the other Elam, 1,250 and 4. The children of Harim, 320. The children of Jericho, 340 and 5. The children of Lod, Hadid, and Ono, 720 and 1. The children of Sanah, 3,930. The priests, the children of Jediah of the house of Jeshua, 970 and 3. The children of Amer, 1,050 and 2. The children of Pashur, 1,240 and 7. The children of Harim, 1,017. The Levites, the children of Jeshua, of Kadmiel, and of the children of Hodavah, 70 and 4. The singers, the children of Asaph, 148. The porters, the children of Shalom, the children of Ater, the children of Talman, the children of Akub, the children of Hatia.
I'm sorry, was that the children of Aku?
The children of Akub,
Aku.
Oh, phew.
the children of Hatita, the children of Shobai, 130 and 8.
Hold on, pause for a second.
I can try.
So for right now, yes, you deserve a drink.
Take a breath.
For
Take
right
a
now,
breath.
at least for right now, the numbers are done. There's going to be a couple more later, but the numbers for now are done.
Now we just have the children of.
And and this is not a great list. And not only is it not a great list, we've also read it before.
And it's so soon. This one is like, I remember it fresh. Other lists, they were like, at least the chronicler had to say them, and it was a while past.
Yeah, but the thing is, you know what? At least the chronicler got it out of the way, you know?
Yeah.
Like, yes, 9 chapters and us dying on the inside,
Uh-huh.
but
You know,
it was all out of the way
Alter
after.
said that one of these previous chapters was the most boring in the Bible.
Yeah.
No. Chronicles.
The whole thing.
First 9 chapters of Chronicles, taken
Yeah.
together, are the most boring part of the Bible.
Because they're
Easily.
a restatement and a strictly inferior restatement of everything.
See, the thing
Yes.
is, it's not even that it's a restatement necessarily, because there's some stuff in it that we didn't learn about before.
Yeah.
Fine, it's
But
redoing.
it was just so much, and it was 9 chapters, and it's like, why would anyone write this? Why would this be in a holy book?
Who knows?
Have this somewhere else. Put it in a
Let's
separate book.
discover the mystery of their faith. It's a Sunday school kind of thing.
The Nethinim, the children of Ziha, the children of Hashupah, the children of Tabaoth, the children of Keros, the children of Saya, the children of Padon, the children of Lebanah, the children of Hagabah, the children of Shalmai, the children of Hanan, the children of Gidal, the children of Gahar, the children of Raaiah, the children of Rezin, the children of Nekoda, the children of Gazam, the children of Uzzah, the children of Phaseah, the children of Basai, the children of Menum, the children of Nephishisim, the children of Baduk, the children of Hakapha, the children of Harhor, the children of Bazlith, the children of Mehida, the children of Harsha, the children of Barkos, the children of Sisera, the children, not Cicero, but Sisera, the children of Tama, the children of Neziah, the children of Hatipah, the children of Solomon's servants, the children of Sotai, the children of Sophereth, the children of Heridah, the children of Jala, the children of Darkon, the children of Gidal, the children of Shephatiah, the children of Hatil, the children of Pokereth, of Zebaim, the children of Ammon, all the Nethinim, and the children of Solomon's servants were 392. And these were...
These are all the lesser ones, so you can throw them all together and count them.
Yeah.
Yay.
And these were they that... which went up also from Telmelah, Telharesha, Cherub, Adon, and Immer, but they could not show their father's house nor their seed whether they were of Israel. The children of Deliah, the children of Tobiah, the children of Nekoda, 642. And of the priests, the children of Habiah, the children of Kaz, the children of Barzillai, which took one of the daughters of Barzillai the Gideonite to wife, and was called after their name. These sought their register among those that were reckoned by genealogy, but it was not found. Therefore were they.
Okay, so it's interesting, because now they're calling Tobiah, one of the guys who was against the building of the temple, now they're all like, hey, this guy is not part of... We can't verify that he's an Israelite.
Yeah. Therefore were they, as polluted, put from the priesthood.
They're polluted.
He just kicked out the priests that he didn't want.
Mm-hmm.
And the Tirshatha said unto them, what is the Tirshatha?
That's probably the most interesting thing. Not the Tirshatha, not that. But the thing about Tobiah. That's probably the most interesting thing about this chapter, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
And sorry, what was the word you were looking at?
Tirshatha. From 65.
65.
And the Tirshatha said unto them, that they should not eat of the most holy things till there stood up a priest. Oh.
Governor.
Okay. Until there stood up a priest with Urim and Thummim.
Yep.
Finally.
Again,
Yeah, they are.
It's back.
The whole congregation together was 42,303 score, beside their manservants and their maidservants, of whom there were 7,337. And they had 245 singing men and singing women. Their horses, 736. Their mules, 245. Their camels, 435. 6,720 asses. You know, at the rate that Ezra was going through all those animals earlier, they're going to run out of food.
They're gonna run out of a lot.
Yeah.
I'm surprised these people didn't.
Die.
I mean, the thing is, they ate it all. So, like, were they all I mean, how much waste product do you think there was? Probably not that much.
Maybe. And some of the chief of the fathers gave unto the work. The Tirshatha gave to the treasure 1,000 drams of gold, 50 basins, 530 priests' garments. And some of the chief of the fathers gave to the treasure of the work 20,000 drams of gold, and 2,200 pounds of silver. And that which the rest of the people gave was 20,000 drams of gold, 2,000 pounds of silver, and 67 priests' garments. So the priests and the Levites, and the porters and the singers, and some of the people, and the Nethinim, and all Israel dwelt in their cities. And when the 7th month came, the children of Israel were in their cities. And that's the end of chapter 7.
Yes, that is the end of chapter 7. What a chapter.
What a chapter.
What a chapter. Wow. If you guys are enjoying the stream, be sure to drop a like, subscribe, all that other good stuff about our wish list and Patreon. and
Nightbotting?
No,
Nightbot has not been nightbotting.
No,
Oh,
it's a shame.
We have our Amazon wish list in the description, and if you would like to see a video which encompasses a certain subject that is covered in one of the books on the wish list, feel free to purchase that for us. We would be appreciative of it, and you would receive a video eventually.
Yeah. We throw in a bunch of research.
Yeah.
into our
Probably say
videos.
thanks to you,
So, yeah, of
whoever you
course.
are, if you
Of course we
want.
do.
Yeah, the occult Nazism video is going to have like dozens of things referenced in its bibliography.
Yeah. And like I said before, donation drive is at $290.
Yep.
666
Yeah, we
will
haven't
get
seen
you
any donations
an
for a while,
alchemy.
folks.
Yeah, we haven't
but
seen any
whatever.
donations
Whatever.
Money.
We'll-
If you're
It's
up
pass
cool.
over that.
We don't require 10% of your income, but if you would like to share that with our congregation, we are open to it.
With our congregation.
It depends. If your income's really big, we'll take a 0.5%. That's cool.
Yeah.
It doesn't even matter. Anyways, let's hop right into chapter 8 before people start hating us too much.
Jeff Bezos, 10%.
Yeah, Jeff Bezos, you do it.
Thank you.
And all the people gathered as one man into the square before.
What happened to them? They fused?
Hold on.
Yeah,
this is-
it's like Power Rangers where all the mechs come together and they form one giant mech.
Hold on. And all the people gathered as one man into the square before the water gate, and they told Ezra the scribe, they told Ezra the scribe to bring the book of the law of Moses that the Lord had commanded Israel. So I'm not.
So we're suddenly no longer in first-person narrative.
Well, it still might be. He's just talking about something else. So he's like talking about something that he's seeing.
I'm looking forward, and
I have no idea though.
I mean, okay, yeah, in like chapter 12, he makes like I and my references.
Well, yeah. So
I
I
believe.
still think it's in that.
But
He's looking at something. He's seeing something happen. He's just describing it. It's not really an issue.
yes,
Anyways, so Ezra the priest brought the law before the assembly, both men and women, and all who could understand what they heard, on the first day of the 7th month. And this was just as everything was done. This was yeah, you should take that. So it's just as everything was done, and from the end of the last chapter, and at the start of the 7th month, the people of Israel were in their towns.
Mm.
So everything's all set up. We're about to have a what's it called when they're just getting a new temple? They have to like not sanctify it, but what's the word I'm looking for?
they have to purify it.
Not even purify. I forget the word I'm looking for, but they're inaugurating or what's it's on the tip of my tongue. I can't remember the right word.
If you do,
Because Solomon has dedicate.
Yes.
It was a dedication.
Yes.
So you got that going on. And he read from it facing the square before the Watergate from early morning until midday. That's a lot of reading. In the presence of the men and the women and those who could understand. And the ears of all the people were attentive to the book of the law.
So earlier in the first verse, it says the book of the teachings of Moses. The Hebrew is Sefer Torah Moshe. This is probably still a descriptive rubric rather than a true title. The word for teaching, Torah, would in time become the standard designation for the 5 books of Moses. Torah was evidently edited in Babylonian exile.
Yeah. I wouldn't even say it was edited. I was saying a good chunk of it was probably written in exile.
So essentially it goes on to say that the people who were gathered here would probably be some of the more literate people among the city.
Yeah. So it's probably an upper class thing too, because those were the people that knew how to read and write.
Yes.
It was a prestigious thing.
Whoa.
Well, I'm sure they could. I mean, they would be able to understand actually, because everyone had language, so they could understand it.
And
But they
on the first day of the 7th month, by the way, this is the 1st of Tishrei. It eventually would become Rosh Hashanah, but that holiday is not in place yet.
Neat.
Yeah, which is the Jewish New Year.
Yeah. And Ezra the scribe stood on a wooden platform that they had made for the purpose, and beside him stood Mattaniah, Shema, Ananiah, Uriah, Hilkiah, and Messiah on the right hand, and Pedaiah, Mishael, Malchiah, Hashum, Hashbaddanah, Zechariah, and Meshullam on his left hand. And Ezra opened the book in the sight of all the people, for he was above all the people, and as he opened it, all the people stood. And Ezra blessed the Lord, the great God, and all the people answered, Amen, Amen, lifting up their hands. And they bowed their heads and worshipped the Lord with their faces to the ground. Also, Jeshua, Bani, Sherebiah, Jamin, Akub, Shabbathai, Hodiah, Messiah, Kelita, Azariah, Jozabad, Hanan, Peliah, the Levites, helped the people to understand the law, while the people remained in their places. They read from the book, from the law of God clearly, and they gave the sense, so that the people understood the reading. Whew.
So, where they say they read from the book of God's teaching, expounding and giving reasons, and they explained what was read. So, Alters says some think
gosh.
the Hebrew word
We just got
for
Daniel 6, I think.
Oh, hey, look at that.
Oh.
It says Landon Null.
Oh, thank
Oh
you
my
very
God.
much,
Landon, you're the boss, man.
Lannon.
I guess, yeah, Landon.
Thank you so much.
Looks like he's not banned for life anymore.
Well, yeah, but YouTube is weird about all that
Yeah,
stuff.
it was
But
through,
thank you.
So,
That was through
All
Streamlabs.
Streamlabs.
Yeah.
That's right. Yep.
Wait, was that 66 or 66?
$66.60.
Okay.
so where it says expounding, some think.
Fantastic. We love you, man.
Thank you so much.
Look forward to
But
seeing you
some
soon.
think the Hebrew word refers to translation from Hebrew to Aramaic.
Oh, hold on. You know what that actually reminds me of? Since it was through Streamlabs, I forgot to connect the Streamlabs to my PayPal. So when a couple people donated through Streamlabs before, they got their money back because I didn't set it up, which is fine. So we still did it anyways. But I have to remember to attach it.
Hurry up.
Yeah.
We'll
that
do
down.
that right after
Yeah.
this.
Right after these messages.
Yeah, so they may have been translating this from Hebrew to Aramaic while doing these speeches out in public.
Sure. Yeah, because that was the common language. Where was I? Right, I just had an amazing reading. Ah. And Nehemiah, who was... Oh, okay, so, yeah, it's no longer in first person.
It's
Okay.
not been for a while.
And Nehemiah, who was the governor, and Ezra the priest and scribe, and the Levites who taught the people, said to all the people, "This day is holy to the Lord your God. Do not mourn or weep." For all the people wept as they heard the words of the law. Then he said to them, "Go your way, eat the fat and drink sweet wine, and send portions to anyone who has nothing ready. For this day is holy to our Lord. And do not be grieved, for the joy of the Lord is your strength." So the Levites calmed all the people, saying, "Be quiet, for this day is holy. Do not be grieved." And all the people went their way to eat and drink, and to send portions, and to make great rejoicing, because they had understood the words that were declared to them. So not only were they read the words, they had to be properly taught the true meaning of them.
Yes.
Maybe they should have just read all the books that we've read.
They
That'd be
weren't
nice.
easily accessible.
They weren't even written yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Was it not written? It wasn't.
It wasn't.
It wasn't written yet.
On the second day, the heads of fathers' houses of all the people, with the priests and the Levites, came together to Ezra the scribe in order to study the words of the law. And they found it written in the law that the Lord had commanded Moses that the people of Israel should dwell in booths during the feast of the 7th month. The Feast of Booths, obviously. And that they should proclaim it and publish it in all their towns and in Jerusalem. Go out to the hills and bring branches of olive, wild olive, myrtle, palm, and other leafy trees to make booths, as it is written. So the people went out and brought them, and made booths for themselves, each on his roof, and in their courts, and in the courts of the house of God, and in the square at the water gate, and in the square at the gate of Ephraim.
So this kind of explains the naming convention of some of these trees that we've been running into, because it is different between different translations. So up here it says, "Go out into the hill country, bring back leafy boughs of olive trees and leafy boughs of evergreens and leafy boughs of myrtles and palm trees," and so on and so on. So where it says evergreens, the Hebrew literally says oil trees, the oil probably being turpentine that is extracted from evergreen trees.
Well, now I know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was today old when I learned that.
Huh.
And the thick-branched trees to make the booths, the specific identification of Etz Avot is uncertain. It should be noted that this list of trees corresponds only in part to the trees that were available in Leviticus and Deuteronomy to be used for the Sukkoth festival.
Yeah, they didn't really have many trees available.
Like 20.
And they had to go to Lebanon, or not go to Lebanon, but they had to get those trees.
Yeah, they had to import trees at a number of times, actually.
Yeah, even for the temple, the initial temple.
Yeah.
Where was I? I was in a trance.
What?
Gates of Ephraim. Okay. And all the assembly of those who had returned from the captivity made booths and lived in the booths. For from the days of Jeshua, the son of Nun, or Joshua, that should be actually, the son of Nun, to that day the people of Israel had not done so, and there was very great rejoicing, and day by day, from the first day to the last day.
That's incorrect. It says, "It's surely not the case that Sukkoth had not been observed all these centuries since Joshua." Perhaps the least forced explanation is one proposed by Michael Kookman, that now the festival was celebrated as a national religious event,
Oh,
not
instead-
primarily as a harvest festival.
Okay, that makes sense. Because the authors of the Bible were very, they really tried to make it clear that the official religion, the state religion, they're trying to separate themselves from the folk religion or popular religion. So they were trying to differentiate themselves, but that's not exactly true. They were incredibly similar. It was just like a few things that made the folk religions or the popular religions, and I'm using quotations because it's just so hard to define some of these things. They found it too similar to Canaanite religion in many ways. So they were, thinking it was the heresy, and they probably wouldn't use the word heresy, but it was bad. They didn't like it. It was uncouth. It was unclean.
As for the Yeshua bit, that is just a later form of Joshua that was influenced by Aramaic speech.
Yep.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Yep.
I think we sort of covered that once before, but it didn't specifically state that.
So, anyways, apparently it was never celebrated. He read from the book of the law of God. They kept the feast 7 days, and on the 8th day there was a solemn assembly, according to the rule.
Oh, we got one more chapter
One
left
more
for
chapter.
today.
Yep.
That was the end of chapter 8.
Yeah, so now we have the final chapter for today, chapter 9, obviously, because that comes right after 8.
What? Yep.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy. It's kind of a longer one, but next week we will be finishing Nehemiah, and I had to include both 8 and 9 in here because they're part of one sequence, I guess, would be the phrase.
Okay. Now,
Make sure to like and subscribe.
Yeah, like,
I see
subscribe.
20 people. 20 people. All of you, make sure you have dropped a like.
Or a dislike.
Or dislike. Doesn't matter. It helps.
Send 40 comments. Email all of your burned bridges in your life. Everyone that you ever told off.
Tell
them.
us your life story. We want to hear it.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Now on the 24th day of this month, the children of Israel were assembled with fasting and with sackcloths and earth upon them. And the seed of Israel separated themselves from all strangers, and stood and confessed their sins and the iniquities of their fathers. And they stood up in their place and read in the book of the law of the Lord their God 1/4 part of the day. And another 4th part they confessed and worshipped the Lord their God. Then stood up upon the stairs of the Levites, Jeshua and Bani, Kadmiel, Shebaniah, Buni, Sherebiah, Bani, and Chenani, and cried with a loud voice unto the Lord their God. Then the Levites, Jeshua and Kadmiel, Bani, Hashabaniah, Sherebiah, Hodijah, Shebaniah,
Yo, right there,
and
Ben.
Pethahiah said, Stand up and bless the Lord your God forever and ever. And blessed be thy glorious name, which is exalted above all blessing and praise. Thou, even thou, art Lord alone. Thou hast made heaven, the heaven of heavens, with all their host, the earth and all these things that are therein, the seas and all that is therein, and thou preservest them all, and the host of heaven worshipeth thee. Oh, we didn't know that the people in heaven, beyond the firmament, worship Yahweh. That wasn't mentioned before.
Well, let's check. What verse did you just finish reading?
6.
Okay. Well, I got a pretty good note for 6. Yeah. You made the heavens, the utmost heavens, and all their array. You alone are the Lord. All that stuff. This address, a combination of the celebration of God, historical survey, and confession, is wrought in high rhetorical language. The editors of the Biblia Hebraica set it out as poetry, and it is certainly grandly rhythmic, as this translation tries to suggest, but only a few lines actually scan as poetry. It is better to regard this as rhythmic poetic prose. The language is replete with verbal formulas that occur in earlier biblical texts, especially in the Torah. The verbal closeness to many formulations in the Torah and the whole Deuteronomistic history suggests that this large body of narrative was virtually canonical at this moment.
Well then.
That's at least according to him.
Thou art the Lord the God who didst choose Abram and broughtest him forth out of Ur of the Chaldees and gavest him the name of Abraham.
But I feel like there's more to that verse, honestly. I'll have to look more into that. I'm going to write that down because I feel like there's more to that.
Yes.
But yeah, go on.
And foundest his heart faithful before thee, and madest a covenant with him to give the land of the Canaanites, the Hittites, the Amorites, and the Perizzites, and the Jebusites, and the Girgashites, to give it, I say, to his seed, and hast performed thy words, for thou art righteous. And didst see the affliction of our fathers in Egypt, and heard their cry by the Red Sea, and showed signs and wonders upon Pharaoh, and on all his servants, and on all the people of his land. For thou knewest that they dealt proudly against them. So didst thou get thee a name, as it is this day. And
So you have dealt proudly against them?
dealt proudly against them.
I have, and that was verse 10, right?
Mm-hmm.
I have dealt arrogantly against them. And the note here is in keeping with the biblical predisposition to mix pronominal references. They is the Egyptians, them is the Israelites. But yeah, mine says arrogantly instead of proudly.
I see.
Not a big deal.
Not a huge deal. And thou didst divide the sea before them, so that they went through the midst of the sea on dry land. And their persecutors thou threw into the deeps, as a stone into the mighty waters. Moreover, thou leddest them in the day by a cloudy pillar, a cloud, and in the night by a pillar of fire, to give them light in the way wherein they should go. Thou camest down also upon Mount Sinai, and spakest with them from heaven, and gave them right judgments and true laws, good statutes and commandments, and made known to them thy holy Sabbath, and commandedst them precepts, statutes, and laws by the hand of Moses thy servant, and gavest them bread from heaven for their hunger, and broughtest forth water for them out of the rock for thy thirst, and promised that they should go in to possess the land which thou hadst sworn to give them.
Ellis!
Thank you,
$10.
Ellis.
Hey, hold on. Before Alice goes anywhere. Alice, I sent you a message on Facebook. I need reply to those questions because they're actually a little bit important. So just check your Facebook messages. Sorry. You guys do continue.
I was in the middle of a thing.
Yeah,
What?
I know. We're always in the middle of a thing.
Yeah. Their persecutors are thrown in the mighty waters. True laws, good statutes, and commandment, and made known to them thy holy Sabbath, and commandest them precepts, statutes, and laws by the hand of Moses, by thy servant, and gave them bread from heaven for their hunger, and brought forth water for them out of the rock
So
for their
bread
thirst.
from heaven, was that the manna from
The
heaven?
manna, yeah. Water from the rock for their thirst, and promised that they should go in to possess the land that thou hadst sworn to give them. But they and our fathers dealt proudly, and hardened their necks, and hearkened not to thy commandments, and refused to obey. Neither were mindful of thy wonders that thou didst among them, but hardened their necks, and in their rebellion appointed a captain to return to their bondage. But thou art a God ready to pardon, gracious and merciful, slow to anger, and of great kindness, and forsookst them not. Yea, when they had made them a molten calf, and said, This is thy God that brought thee up out of Egypt, and had wrought great provocations, yet thou in thy manifold mercies forsookest them not in the wilderness. The pillar of the cloud departed not from them day by day to lead them in the way, neither the pillar of fire by night to show them the light, and the way wherein they should go. Thou gavest also thy good spirit to instruct them, and withheldst not thy manna from their mouth, and gave them water for their thirst. Yea, 40 years did thou sustain them in the wilderness, so that they lacked nothing. Their clothes waxed not old, and their feet swelled not. Moreover, thou gavest them the kingdom and nations, and didst divide them into corners, so they possessed the land of Sihon, and the land of the king of Heshbon, and the land of Og, king of Bashan. Their children also multipliedst thou as the stars of heaven, and brought them into the land concerning which thou had promised to their fathers.
So remember that this is a part of a blessing.
Yes.
Wow.
They're just retelling everything that happened in the Torah, nearly.
Yeah.
So one thing, if you want to learn more about the golden calf, I think I made a pretty good video about that.
Yeah, go watch that golden calf video if you haven't.
And
They do say the line.
yeah, they do. I just want to point out something here. So, what verse are you reading right now?
Right now, I am at verse 24.
Okay. Once you're done with verse 25, I'll hop in.
Okay. So the children went in and possessed the land, and thou subduedest before them the inhabitants of the land, the Canaanites, and gave them into their hands with their kings and the people of the land, that they might do with them as they would. And they took strong cities and a fat land, and possessed houses full of goods, wells digged, vineyards, olive yards, and fruit trees in abundance. So they did eat, and were filled, and became fat, and delighted themselves in thy great goodness.
Okay, so here's a little note here. So it's clear that whoever wrote this portion had access to the Torah,
Yes.
as did the chroniclers. And so in verse 11, you have the phrase, "You flung into the deep like a stone." Although yours might say something else, right? Just a little bit different, verse 11.
As a stone into the mighty waters.
Okay. So this is, remember the Song of the Sea in Exodus?
Barely.
There was also a Song of Moses in Deuteronomy 32. So verse 11 is a virtual quotation of the Song of the Sea in Exodus 15.
Oh.
While verse 25 is an approximate citation of Deuteronomy 32, the Song of Moses.
All right.
So it's this kind of stuff that helps us layer the authorship.
Yes, we are figuring out what the hell was going on with this book.
Right. It was God. Don't worry about it.
Nevertheless, they were disobedient and rebelled against thee, and cast thy law behind their backs, and slew thy prophets, which testified against them to turn them unto thee. And they wrought great provocations. Therefore, thou deliveredst them into the hand of their enemies who vexed them. And in the time of their trouble, when they cried unto thee, thou heard them from heaven, and according to thy manifold mercies, thou gave them saviors, who saved them out of the hand of their enemies. But after they had rest, they did evil again before thee. Therefore leftst thou...
One interesting thing here. So the saviors, for you, I have as the rescuers.
Wow.
The Hebrew Mosheim is the term used for the judges, the ad hoc military chieftains who periodically liberated their people from foreign oppressors.
So the saviors are the judges.
Yeah.
But after they had rest, they did evil again before thee. Therefore leddest thou them into the hand of their enemies, so that they had the dominion over them. Yet when they returned and cried unto thee, thou heard them from heaven, and many times didst thou deliver them according to thy mercies, and testifiedst against them, that thou might bring them again unto thy law. Yet they dealt proudly, and hearkened not unto thy commandments, but sinned against thy judgments, which if a man do, he shall live in them, and withdrew the shoulder, and hardened their neck, and would not hear. Yet many years didst thou forbear in them, and testifiedst against them by thy Spirit, in thy prophets. Yet would they not give ear. Therefore gavest thou them into the hand of the people of the lands. Nevertheless, for thy great mercy's sake, thou didst not utterly consume them, nor forsake them. for thou art a gracious and merciful God. Now therefore, our God, the great, the mighty, and the terrible God, who keeps covenant and mercy, let not all the troubles seem little before thee that hath come upon us, on our kings, on our princes, and on our priests, and on our prophets, and on our fathers, and on all thy people, since the time of the kings of Assyria unto this day. Howbeit thou art just in all that is brought upon us, for thou hast done right, but we have done wickedly. Neither of our kings, our princes, our priests, nor our fathers kept thy law, nor hearkened unto thy commandments and thy testimonies, wherewith thou didst testify against them. For they have not served thee in their kingdom, and in thy great goodness that thou gavest them, and in the large and fat land which thou gavest before them, neither turned they from their wicked works. Behold!
Behold!
Holy shit, there's a behold in this?
Yeah. We are servants to this day, and for the land that thou givest unto our fathers to eat the fruit thereof and the good thereof, behold!
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 We are servants in it, and it yieldeth much increase unto the kings whom thou hast set over us, because of our sins. Also they have dominion over our bodies and over our cattle at their pleasure, and we are in great distress. And because of all this, we make a sure covenant and write it, and our princes, Levites, and priests seal unto it. And that's the end of chapter 9.
Yep, there's a covenant has been made, and again, another one, but it's pretty much the same one.
But now they're writing
Can
it
you
down.
hand me the Old Testament survey?
Yeah.
All right, I pulled something neat up from here before, so while I find it, let's say some stuff.
Well, now they're writing it down, and they're getting it sealed by the princes and priests and the Levites. So now it's more official, I guess. I mean, it seems kind of ridiculous. Soon we're going to be in the book of Esther,
Yep.
and
pretty soon.
that's going to be very different.
And I did find the thing that was useful here. The confession concludes with an acknowledgement that the present Persian rulership, accepted elsewhere with equanimity in Ezra and Nehemiah, as we were talking about before, leaves the community in a less than perfect situation. Which, like before, they were saying, oh, look how great Persia is, and we're so thankful to have Persia, be, in a sense, ruling over us. But Persia saved them from exile.
Mm-hmm.
But they are still saying stuff like, we are slaves this day.
Well,
Verse 36.
yeah, well, they have overbearing taxation,
Well,
I guess.
Okay, that's not... You can't have, these choosing beggars.
Yes.
Okay, so these are choosing beggars. They're like, they were so happy before when they left the exile, and now they're just like, yeah, but you suck.
Yeah, and then they're going to be so happy when God helps them, and then they're going to abandon his ways.
Yep,
and then
it's just gonna go over.
they're
and
gonna
over.
get
You guys
punished
built stuff in
and-
the high
Yeah.
places again?
Well, here's a note from that's about that same verse. A verse with two beholds, by the way.
Yes.
two beholds.
Well, actually, no,
I'll put that up.
Yeah,
Here
that
you
verse
go.
was two beholds.
Two beholds today, ladies and gentlemen.
So this bold statement would have to refer to domination of the Persian Empire. Despite the relatively generous Persian policy towards the exiled Judites, they perceive themselves as a subject people. This is a moment when Nehemiah's language comes dangerously close to an indirect hint of the political rebellion of which Sanballat and his allies had accused him.
Yeah, they were right the whole time.
I knew it.
Yep.
Well, with that being said, that's all we have for you today.
Yeah, that's the show this week. I had fun today. I'm gonna
Yep.
try to get some stuff figured out.
Excellent.
With a lot of stuff, honestly. But anyways, other than our website, MilwaukeeAtheists.com, and our Twitter at MKE Atheists, and our Facebook, Milwaukee Atheists, and our Patreon, MKE Atheists, or Milwaukee
our
Atheists,
Amazon wish
depending.
list.
And our Amazon wish list, link in the description. All that stuff is there.
Yes.
And shirts on Teespring. But anyways, beside all that, we will
See you next Sunday!